Hey, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Computer Games Hardware. We're back into the games, guys. We're looking at the new releases for February. We've been pretty heavy on the computer and hardware stuff lately here at Computer Games Hardware. So we're getting back into the games and taking a look at all the big releases for February. But before we do, if you enjoy any of the content here on Computer Games Hardware, please chuck us a like, share, or subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I should also note that you can also follow us on our socials. So we're active on Instagram, Threads, and also TikTok. So look at us. We're either CGHW or Dan at CGHW. The links are in the YouTube description, so check them out. But really appreciate you guys. We've passed 3,000 followers on Computer Games Hardware, so big heartfelt thank you to you all, and hello to all our new subscribers. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Let's get into the games for February. At number 7, we've got Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Lots to be said about this game. The latest one from Rocksteady Studios, so the creators of the Batman Arkham games, Arkham Knight, and all those good games. This features the Suicide Squad, and it follows 4 of the supervillains, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and King Shark, who are assembled by Amanda Wallace and set into Metropolis to stop the alien invader Brainiac and free the members of the Justice League brainwashed by him. This game was announced in 2020 and it was initially scheduled for release in 2022, but unfortunately it's been delayed multiple times, and part of that is because of the controversy surrounding the games as a service. It's got some bad reviews. People were pretty concerned about the state of it when they released some in-game footage, and it seems like that concern was justified. Even some of the beta testers who Rocksteady released into the wild a bit early to be able to talk about the game, to give it a positive flair, have been pretty mixed to negative on it, I would say. And it's not looking good for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Well, the lead up to its release hasn't been the best, I might say, which is pretty disappointing from the developers who gave us some of the best comic book action games of all time in the Arkham games. But this one's looking like it's not going to be the best. One notable thing about Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is that it's Kevin Conroy's last vocal performance as Batman, which is really sad to see. There's been a number of controversies around it. It's already released in early access, and it was pulled immediately after an hour after a game-breaking bug was discovered. So it's not off to a good start, but it will be available in earnest on PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox Series X and X on February 2nd. Next up at number 6, we've got Tomb Raider 1 to 3 Remastered. This remaster of the original Tomb Raider trilogy is being published by Aspyr. It's a remastered compilation of the first 3 games in the Tomb Raider series, so it's Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider 2, and Tomb Raider 3. What Aspyr have done is made it look like how it looked like in my head in 1996. So looking at the sliding shots of Lara Croft from the originals to the remastered, I was a bit taken aback. These games were, at the time, graphical powerhouses. What Aspyr have done is they've kept it in the spirit of the original trilogy, which I really like. I think that makes it more appealing for these remasters. They've updated the controls, so no longer do you have to play with those awful tank controls, but if you're a purist, you can still access them. There's still an option to play with the tank controls controls. That's not going to be me, that's for sure. And Lara still has her infinite ammo handguns and the dinosaurs running around and all that good stuff. So Tomb Raider 1 to 3 Remastered is coming out on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and X, and that is releasing on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Alright folks, it's the one you've been waiting for. At number 5, we have Skull and Bones. So Skull and Bones drew inspiration from the naval battles from the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. The game's been in development for such a long time. 2013, I believe, this game was announced when Black Flag was pretty hot on the shelves. So so it's been quite a while in development. So it's been quite a while in development there. The running joke for a while was every time they had their investor calls that Skull and Bones would get a new release date over the years. So it's been a long time coming, but it's finally releasing. A couple of you are really excited. This isn't one for me. It's probably not going to be on my playlist, but I know a lot of you are excited for it, and we love that sort of swashbuckling, like piracy era type of game. The boat games have never been huge on me. However, I did like the traversal in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Has apparently undergone multiple changes in direction and scope during its development. The budget's blown out many times, and it's gone from naval exploration, from ship to ship combat, before it was scrapped in favor for like a land-based survival game. So it's gone through quite a number of revisions over at Ubisoft. It was set to be released in 2018, and then they just continually delayed it. And look, it's finally here. Are you guys excited for it? Let me know in the comments down below. Skull and Bones will be released for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and X, and that is out on February 16th. At number 4, we've got Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Now, if you remember the original Mario vs. Donkey Kong that was developed by Nintendo for the Game Boy Advance, you might recall it as being like a spiritual successor to the original Donkey Kong. It was a combination of platforming and puzzling, and it was sort of had a really unique style, and it's even got a couple of its own sequels. Interesting that they chose this one to remake for the Nintendo Switch. You play as Mario, and again you're after Donkey Kong, who's broken into the Mario toy factory and stolen all the toys, and you've got to use a series of platforming and puzzles to sort of solve the level and get to Donkey Kong and get back all your toys. So this was a pretty cute Game Boy Advance game, and the remake is scheduled for release on February 16th. It's got some enhanced graphics and co-op multiplayer, so that could be pretty fun, but it's also a pretty cool way to, introduce Mario and Donkey Kong to a younger generation. Mario vs. Donkey Kong is set to be released on February 16th, so check that one. At number 3, we have Pacific Drive, and I don't know if any of you know, or if you're as old as me, you might remember that there was an Australian TV show, a soap opera called Pacific Drive. So when I heard that this game was announced and I hadn't seen any of the footage, my mind was blown that they were making a Australian TV soap opera into a game. But that's not what this is. Pacific Drive is a survival game played in first person. The game is set in an Olympic exclusion zone in the Pacific Northwest. Play in the third person or in a station wagon where you can customize the vehicle in a garage, which sort of acts as a base of operation. You've got like vehicle diagnostics, and you've got a headset, and the car develops sort of quirks to be repaired, such as the horn sounding when the wheel is turned. Some of these repairs can be performed while traversing the world, like swapping flat tires, mending with a blowtorch, and other complex repairs and stuff like that. And it just looks like a really interesting game. People have been trying to explain the feel and the vibe of this game. It's got like survival horror elements, fantastical elements to it, and I think I've got the description down, because do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Ecto-1 and Ghostbusters.
Everybody can relax. I found the car. Needs some suspension work and shocks and brakes, brake pads, lining, steering box, transmission, rear end. How much? Only 4,800. Maybe new rings, also mufflers, a little wire.
So I'm a huge fan of Ghostbusters, probably my favorite movie of all time. And one of the biggest draws for me, especially as a young kid, was the aura of the Ecto-1. So it's sort of when they filmed the Ghostbusters, the story had it that it was more alive, and it could burn up like parking tickets and stuff like that. Had a personality of itself. They cut most of that, but some of that aura made it into the film, and it sort of became a cult figure in of itself. And this game gives off that same vibe. There's sort of like a supernatural, spooky, funky sort of vibe to it, which really struck me. The first time I saw it and I saw the station wagon, I was like, that really gives me Ecto-1 vibes. So hopefully it's sort of got those elements to it, and it plays into that a little bit. I'm really looking forward to this one. Pacific Drive is releasing on PlayStation 5, PC, and you can expect that in February 22nd. At number 2, guys, we've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, a game I am very excited for. I'm tossing, so much so that I'm tossing up whether to purchase a PlayStation 5 just to play it. I played the Final Fantasy VII Remake on PC, and I absolutely loved it. It had some issues, but Square Enix have really listened to players, and they've really opened up the world for the second act of the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. So this is number 2, and it sort of starts in Final Fantasy VII, where the game opens up a little bit from the original one as well. More exciting is that the story has opened up a little bit as well. So what players might be expecting from the original might change in some maybe non-significant and significant ways. I don't want to spoil anything for you if you haven't played the Final Fantasy VII Remake, but things are set to be a little bit different this time around, and I am really looking forward to this. This is a role-playing action game. It will continue the sort of real-time action with strategic role-playing elements that was present in the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I actually really like. I think it's a good way to keep the action dynamic while still, tipping the hat to the, turn-based action of Final Fantasy games of past. So I'm really into it. Much prefer this than Final Fantasy 16's approach, which is dumped turn-based altogether. So really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to seeing how this plays out. This game entered production in November 19, so that was prior to the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Really excited to check out all the game's new features, the real-time exploration and combat, checking out the game's overworld, expanding the map. If you're like me, you're probably really excited to jump onto those chocobos in the open world and really get to explore Final Fantasy VII and the universe that is set in Final Fantasy VII Remake. So this one is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and it is set to be released on February 29. So check it out. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long for the PC port. And at number 1, it's one of my favorite Star Wars games of all time, Star Wars Dark Forces Remastered. The classic first-person shooter is back with a remaster of its own. So coming to you from Night Dive Studios, which is really good news for me. It's a fully remastered version of Star Wars Dark Forces. And it's you're able to play at 4K resolution at 120 FPS. So that's really exciting for me. Some really fast dynamic gameplay, upgraded gameplay in high resolution textures, enhanced lighting and rendering, and support for gamepads as well. So the original Star Wars Dark Forces was a force to be reckoned with in the FPS genre, and it spawned sort of that it had that Duke Nukem 3D Realms aesthetic, which was quite appealing, and it was sort of like a lightning bolt at the time for FPS, as you remember, like Hexen and all those games sort of, even starting with Doom, they sort of, the evolution of that FPS style was really popular, and Star Wars Dark Forces was one of the premier PC games way back in 1995. Probably showing my age there, but this is a classic. Also features the first appearance of Kyle Katarn in the Star Wars gaming universe. So some of its key features, it still has all 14 levels featuring the Star Wars worlds and the ships. You've got your ability to jump, duck, crawl, and solve puzzles to defeat enemies. You got a personal digital assistant that provides you with in-game information such as a map, inventory, and mission briefings. First-person combat. We've got 4K up to 120 FPS visuals, advanced 3D rendering that enables updated lighting and atmospheric effects, and modern gamepad support that adds new weapon wheel and rumble. So I'm looking forward to this one. Night Dive Studios always gets my money, so I'm pretty happy about that. And Star Wars Dark Forces Remastered is hitting Steam on February 29th, so check that out there. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. What games are you guys looking forward to? There's a whole bunch coming, and there's a whole bunch coming down the line. It's going to be another massive year of games, and plenty of stuff coming out on computer games hardware as well. You might notice in the background the computer's on, and it's got an air cooler in it. So there's some content coming around that, and the replacement AIO that's on the way from Lian Li. So stick around for more content like that, and we've got plenty more gaming news and game releases to get throughout the year. So get subscribed, smash us a like, and watch the videos. Click through them. So if you enjoy any of the content here on Computer Games Hardware, please give us a like and a subscribe, and hope you enjoy watching them. I really enjoy making them for you guys, so I'll keep making them if you keep watching them, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.